We will solve this interesting and tough puzzle, but this will be more a behind the scene kind of a video. It will show you the sort of effort that goes into solving a tough question. A lot of students ask, how does one improve one's problem solving abilities? One of the characteristics is to keep attacking the problem from different angles and to persevere in it and to fill in a couple of sheets, struggle with tough complex looking expressions, and only then one really sort of develops that skill, right? So without wasting much time, it's a nice puzzle. I'm moving out of the screen. Pause it, try it out completely, students, and only then proceed. I'm not going to read through it again just to save time. So having seen this, I had the advantage of prior knowledge that such sets, you know, a thief giving some part and a fraction of his loot to guards. There are a couple of such puzzles. I know that we start with the end in mind, and in the end I have zero flowers with me, right? So I'm going to go backwards, and just before this what I did was I was at the nth temple. We are talking about the nth temple, and at the nth temple I gave away n. So I'm going backwards, so I'll add the n to it. So I had n with me. So this is the story of the nth temple. Now we come to the n minus 1th temple, and what I did just before this was that I gave away 1/8. So I gave away 1/8, and I'm worried about what am I left. So I was, after giving, I was left with n. So what is known to me is the end result, and I gave away, so I was left with 7/8 of the before. Let me just write this as before, what I had before giving away. So I had something beforehand, I gave away 1/8. What is gone is gone. I need to worry about what I'm left with. I'm left with 7/8. So here and now this is an important step, right? So this becomes 8 by 7 times whatever I am left with. If I multiply that by 8 by 7, so I'll multiply it by 8 by 7 and I will get what I had beforehand. And what did I do just before this? Just before this, I had given n minus 1. So I'll add the n minus 1 to it. So I get this expression going, plus n minus 1. So this completes the story of the n minus 1 at temple. Now you have a framework. Now you can move faster. What happened? Again, the same story. I gave away 1/8. So I was left with 7/8. 7/8 of something that I had is this much. So how much is that something? Multiply this by 8 by 7. So when I multiplied by 8 by 7, I would be getting 8 by 7 into this whole fraction, 8n by 7 plus n minus 1. Okay, and what did I do just before that? Look here, the chain is coming. I would have put in n plus n minus 2. Okay, n minus 2 I would have added to it. So this becomes 8 by 7 of 8n by 7 plus n minus 1 and a plus n minus 2. So this completes the story of the n minus 2th temple. So obviously, yes, these expressions are complex, and that is what I am telling about. Now one might lose courage and just leave it here, or else you persevere and you learn this. Now see how it is. Instead of writing this much, can I just write one expression? From 0, I'll just start with this n. Then what do? I multiply it by 8 by 7. And what do I add to it? I add a n minus 1. Next, I've just added. Next step is multiply. Multiply with an 8 by 7. Next add. What do I add? N minus 2. Look how quickly we reached this. What do? I just added n minus 2. The next step, multiply this with an 8 by 7. What do? Now I add a n minus 3. Okay, and so on I keep doing. Multiply, adding till the time I reach the first temple. Remember, these are decreasing numbers. So I would reach 1 at the last I would be doing. Okay, and here I would keep multiplying. Yes, there are some confusions. Will I have a 1 and then will I multiply? What will we do? Oh, first I multiply and then I add. So probably this will be the last step. Okay, and this is what I started with. Now there's no way that one can solve this. Even if you make an effort over here, you will see that very quickly these numbers are going to increase quite a bit and nothing is going to come out of it. But at least you learned writing this, right? That itself is something good. So probably the next thing was, this did not help. So starting from the end did not help. I did not get anything, and this expression also looks a little more complex. So what I next went is, let me go from the forward. And from the forward, I can do it in just one expression. I don't need the whole sequence. I started with x. I gave away 1. And I further gave away 1/8. When I gave away 1/8, I will be left with, so this expression is for what I'm left with. I would be left with 7/8. So now it is 7 by 8 because I'm going forward. Whereas coming reverse, it was 8 by 7. Then second temple I gave away 2, and this is what I was left, and I gave away 1/8 of this, so I was left with 7/8 of this. Oh, this seems easier, at least compared to the earlier, because you have that advantage of having done it, and here instead of that n minus 1 you have 1 2 3 4, but this also will proceed and this will also multiply. So what happens in the end? Okay, so this is the second last temple. So second last temple I gave away n minus 1. Okay, and when I gave away, I was left with this much. I gave away 1/8 of this also, so I was left with 7/8 of this. And then I reached the nth temple and I gave away that n. And then nothing, no more the fractions were given out, and this became n 0. So this expression was fast, but now this, I can think this is this, when I open out this, x will get multiplied with some power of 7 by 8, either n times or n minus 1. You know, we would, everyone struggles over that. It's not just unique to the weak students. Everyone, you'll have to think, is it going to be n times or n minus 1 times, right? Anyways, right? But then if I open out these numbers, 7 into this is a minus 7 by 8. Minus 7 by 8 into 7 by 8 again. Or no, first I'll have to do this. Oh, so there's a minus 7 by 8 minus 2. This is a minus 23 by 8. And this will have to be multiplied with the 7 by 8. Again, you see numbers are becoming big time. So all this work happens. Even this did not help me too much. It is as complex as the earlier one. So then I said, why not? Let me start with, there is only one temple. There is only one temple. So what happens is, I'll go at the end, I have a 0. I give away 1 in this. So this is what I started with. Since there's just one temple, I came, I gave 1 and I got over. Oh, too trivial. So let me start with 2. So 2 temples. Okay, so 2 temples, end was 0. I gave away 2, so I would add 2 to working backwards. Okay, and now it helps me that this 2 was after giving away 1/8. So remember, left, the left is going to be 7/8 of what I had before, and this is given to me as 2. And anyways, we know that, so no point. So now from your prior knowledge, you know this is into 8 by 7. Oh, that becomes 16 by 7. Okay, so I was a little disappointed here because of the fraction, but let me just complete it. And before that, I just gave away 1. So I'll add that 1 back. So when I add that 1, this becomes 23 by 7. So I started with 23 by 7. You can go forward. 23 by 7, subtract a 1. You get 16 by 7. Give away 1/8 of this. So you would be left with 7/8 of this. 7 cancels, 8 2s are 16. 2. Give away a 2 to the second temple and end the story. So calculation is not wrong, but this fraction is coming in. So I'm still struggling. You can try for 3 also, and then you say that isn't these the problem is, okay, so when I did for 3, now I was a little fast. Okay, I had a 3, so this is 3. I multiplied 8 by 7, that's a 24 by 7. Then I added a 2 to it, that's a 14 add, 38 by 7. And then I added a 1 to, I multiplied it by 8 by 7. Oh, here I have a problem. When I multiply by 8 by 7, it becomes a problem. So this is the issue, right? And that is where it clicks. What do you do if this is an issue? You know fractions are not allowed in this. These fractions are the problem. So immediately it strikes up. Oh, I need a number such that when I multiply by 8 by 7, I don't get a fraction here. So what multiplied with 8 by 7? And immediately you get the answer, students. Oh, so I needed to add a 7 here. So if I added a 7 and I multiplied this with an 8 by 7, 7 cancels, I have an 8. And now what will I do? This is a 7, so I'll add a 6. So I get a 14, and surprise, surprise, when you multiply this with an 8 by 7, 7 2s are 14, I again get a nice number 16. So that encourages me. So now if I add a 5 to it, this becomes 21. By now I'm on auto mode. Okay, 21, and again this is divisible by 7. Wow, so when I multiply this with an 8 by 7, okay, 7 3s are, I get a 24, add a 4 to it, I get a 28, again a multiple of 7, multiply with an 8 by 7, orally 4, 32, add a 3 to it, 35, again divide by 7, 5 8s are 40. What did we do? We added a 3 here, add a 2 here, 42, multiply with 8 by 7, 7 6 are 48, and add a 1, 49. I don't know if this is in the screen, but 49 is what I started with. So 49 is what I started with, gave away 1, going forward now, gave away 1, 48. Okay, 48. Next what? I gave away 1/8. So I was left with 7 by 8. 8 6 are 42, and so on. The series goes on. So at least I came to my answer with just by looking at this 8 by 7 into something should not have been a fraction. It is possible that I might have got a fraction later on. Had I got a fraction later on, probably I would have started with 49, because I know I have to successively multiply it by 8 by 7. Anyway, so this answer done, and if we want it this way, forward way now. So I had 49. In the first temple I gave 1 plus 48. 1/8 of 48 is 6. I gave away 7. So I'm left with 42. I gave away 2. I have 40, and I gave 1/8 of that. 40 ka 1/8 is 7. I again gave a 7. So I'm left with a 35. I gave away 3, 32. 1/8 of 32 is 4. So if you look at it, actually every time you are giving away, you gave away 4, 24, 1/8 of this is that, 7, 21, gave away 5 first, 16, 1/8 of that is 2, 7, 14, gave away 6, left with 8, 1/8 of this is 7, 7 gone, 7 left, gave away 7, and that was what we are left with, right?